2, 3, 4, 5. Test, 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 test. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh. That's weird. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. I need you to be patient with me. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. Okay, I have to tell you guys about my day. And first of all, I don't want to trivialize the fact that. Okay, I don't want to trivialize. So, let me tweak some things just to make sure that this stuff's ready to go when we're ready to go. Okay, that's obviously okay. There we go. All right, we're gonna go kind of old school. I didn't get a chance to set up as much. This is when I wish I could be in a real room with y'all, just so that I could feel the vibes. So, some of the people don't realize this, but I'm actually I'm older. I'm not a spring chicken. And I'm 48 years old, and my parents were older when they had me. Not crazy, but they were older. So my mom is 82, and unfortunately, she's at a place where she needs more and more care as she gets older. And it's a trippy thing. You never really think about your parents. Everybody says the same thing. You never really think about your parents, aging until it's just all of a sudden it's in your face. And so I found out about a week ago from my brother, my older brother, who sort of takes care of my mom's, stuff, and I need to do a better job of showing up for him and helping him in that. But he told me that mom had gotten to a point where she could not be cared for where she was at, and they basically asked slash demanded that we move her to somewhere else where she could get better care. And when my brother told me all of this, he said, we've got to do it by next Friday. And so I couldn't do it I didn't have as much time on Fridays, and so we offered to do it today. And he, like me, way misunderestimates how long things take to be done. And so I literally have been going from 8:45 this morning, emptying my mom's one apartment and then moving it to an apartment. And of course, it all took longer than I thought it was, and then speeding through traffic to get here. And I had everything set up, and then when I went to press, I got here at 15 minutes before class is supposed to start, and when I pressed go, it wouldn't come on. My PC would not, in PC world they call it posting, it would not post. Nothing would come on. And this is something that I thought that I had dealt with. I know it's related to a driver. I know what driver it is. And so it's just, Wow. So I'm excited about this class, and I hope you understand. I'm not trying to dump on you. It's actually the opposite. I'm trying to relate to y'all. So I'm hoping that you've had a day like this, because I was so looking forward to this class. I tested the system. It was already set up. I was just going to come in and breeze in, and then bam. So I hope you can understand why I'm sharing this with you, because I want to be human with you, but I'm in a good mood. Everything's fine. I'm glad that y'all are here and I didn't miss out on you. And let's have a great legs class. I love teaching. There's no part of what I'm saying right now is I wish I wasn't here teaching right now. I've been looking forward to this, this is kind of, connecting with you guys and just hooping in general, like with or without a group, it just, is that sort of hug, I guess in a way that I'm asking for. Yeah. Okay. 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 So your moms are all the same. Okay. Wow. 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 Look at us. One second. Okay, well, let's get going. A couple things I want to say about this before we get going is legs are hard to learn. They, not for everybody, nothing's universal in hooping anyway, but probably in general. But some people get legs quickly and some don't. But what I have noticed as a teacher is that most don't. I feel like legs is probably the sort of across the board. It's kind of like one of those things that's like hard to get, but then easy to kind of master, or more or less. And by master, I mean be in control. Of like feeling good while you're doing it. It's. I know that I've always heard that about skiing versus snowboarding. That snowboarding is easy to get and hard to master, and skiing is hard to get and easy to master, or whatever. Legs is hard to get, I think, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Mostly for tonight, we're going to be focusing on trying to get basically up and outward, and they don't have to be up and outward at the same time, but up and outward push from your legs. What tends to happen with hoopers is they get the back and forth, but I think it can help, and maybe this is too hippie, to visualize getting up under the hoop as you push it from your, if it's coming off your thigh or whatever part of your leg that it is, that you're pushing up with it, and that will help keep the hoop going. Bearskin totally works. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say because it's already 7:30. This is funny. Oh, Louisa, is it Louisa or Louisa? Like, I hope I wondered today. It was funny. I was driving the moving van and I thought, I wonder if I've been pronouncing it wrong. So will you let me know if it's Louisa or Louisa? Oh, the kickstart. Well, the kickstart is something that I think yeah, good. You got shorts on. Good. Skin is your friend, right? In hooping. Oh, okay. Louisa. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess in English, I was wondering if it was like a W sound, like Louise. Wheeze. Sometimes you will hear that in someone's name. All right, let's get going. All right, so all the cameras are set up incorrectly because the camera, yeah. So you guys are gonna get to see what my two couches look like in the dark instead of Tara. Legs are impossible. That might be true. Oh, clothes are probably impossible when it's 90 degrees and you're hooping. Holy! All right, so let's get going. I need to pick a sway song. Man, I already feel better. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you stuck with me. I hope you understand. We never start this late. I know I'm bad, but we're never at 7:32 here, but it's been that kind of thing. I think since we're doing legs, we're not going to start with the slowest of Sway songs. Yeah, totally. There was a hoop pether one time that came up to me on Sunday and told me how awesome the weekend had been. And then she said to me, "But I thought you should know that my name's Amy, and you've been calling me Beth all weekend." It was embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Audible breath in. Open. It's so cool that so many of us have mothers at the same age, or parents. Because I have a feeling that, like me, it may have taken some of you a moment to realize that when those people that were older than us when we were younger were talking, that they were describing a landscape that we would one day most likely travel into. And I always brushed it off. I always wondered what they were talking about. And now I know that when they were discussing caring for your parent land, now I understand that I'm there too. Audible breath in. I think sometimes we forget about passed along knowledge. I think in the hunt to be original, sometimes we forget that we've been here before. Or someone very much like us has. And then we don't have to be limited by their experiences that they share, but that we should maybe be open to learning from them. Audible breath in. Tonight we're going to be using the legs, and it's fun to think of the legs as roots. To think of your legs as how you tap earth energy. And they can be sore and be roots. They can be tired and be roots. Audible breath in. makes for really successful leg hooping is having awareness in both of your legs, because it'll take both of them for you to really get the control that you want to have. And so you can activate both of your legs if you're not already by just shifting your weight or balancing on one. With leg hooping, it's not so much your mind that we need to get in the right place, it's your body. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. When I know I'm going to be working on my legs, leg hooping, at least in past classes and workshops, I like to make like physical touch with my hands on my legs. For me, it's like completing a loop. So right now I'm just sort of like light squeezes, but I could be banging my hands on my legs, just rubbing them. But waking them up. Okay, now there's one more exercise that we're going to do that is kind of annoying for people. Let me fix one thing so I can see y'all better. There you go. Okay, this might be a little bit weird, but actually, okay, this will be cool. Okay, I want you to put your hoops down, or don't pick your hoop up yet if you haven't already, because we're going to work on legs tonight. And so what we're going to work on is bouncing. And I used to make hoop pathers do this all the time. It's really annoying for some people, but I actually think it really helps. So I'll show you what we're going to do. We're just going to bounce on the feet. I invite you to do it with me. If you don't want to, of course, you can keep hooping or whatever. Of course, All right, so we're gonna we're gonna bounce from foot to foot, and I am bouncing right now. And you don't have to bounce like me, but I am bouncing right now in a way that I am sort of shifting my weight from one leg to the other leg. Can't see my feet, and it would help if you could. And if you want to get legs, sometimes what happens is that your legs are not used to moving, and you can train them to move, right? You can make them feel better, or just warm them up for movement right now. Anyway, as I'm bouncing in place like this, my heart rate's coming up, but more importantly, I'm waking up my legs. All right. Okay, grab your hoops for me. For what it's worth, I actually trained that way. Jackie knows this about me. I think he's talking about in workshops. I used to do that sort of bouncy stuff we were just doing, and then this two-bird stuff where you keep your elbows pretty high. I did that for 2 years, separate from my hoop practice, just doing it like as a sway or whatever, and it really changed the way that I moved. And more importantly, it changed the way I sort of felt my body. Okay, but let's grab your hoops and put them on the waist. Okay. Oh, and ever since I got sick last week, my voice has stayed this way, so I'm not putting this on. Okay, so we're about to move into legs. But we're going to start off on the waist. I love this track. And then what I'm going to invite you to do as you're hooping around the waist is to feel the two halves of your body, to feel the two sides of the body, right? Like in the hoop half, the body, in my day, in the body is seen as two trees. Oh, nice, Joe. That you are these two trees. And so as the hoop is rolling around me right now, let me show you what it looks. Hopefully my bird's eye's okay. Yeah, okay. But as I am hooping, even though it's on the waist right now, I'll show you with my hands what I'm doing with my abs. I can like push with one ab here or one ab here, or I can try to use my hands to help me connect my two trees. So this is my right tree moving. This is my left tree. And what can happen for you is you may not realize it, especially if anybody's watching trying to get into hooping, you may not realize how stuck you are in one tree hooping where one side of the body or both sides of the body are doing the same thing. And in core hooping, especially in legs, you kind of need two tree hooping, which means that both sides of the body are kind of moving independently. I mean, maybe in coordination, but that you're kind of feeling your right side and then your left side. And you can reverse that if you want to. Oh, there's a sock in the picture. Right? Now, one thing that can help you is, before we run out of song, I think we've got about 30 seconds of song left, is to, if you have a non-dominant side, or if you have what we call a little sister side, to put your awareness on that side. So for me, I'm right-handed. My little sister tree would be my left hand. So for the last 45 seconds of this song, my awareness, not my focus, my awareness is just on that side of my body. And I'm becoming aware of like what it does. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to start this. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm just going to keep going. Obviously, I'm in the studio tonight by myself here. So, okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about legs. And the first place that we're going to start on legs is actually a place that a lot of hoopers wind up getting stuck at. But we're going to start there because I think it's sort of the easiest way to feel legs. And there's loads of ways that you can get there, but you can't, for right now, let's just say you're a room full of total beginners. This is how I would probably teach this, is I would have taught them, how to push the hoop into their body on the waist. And so when I'm on the legs here, I'm thinking like I'm going to, slam this, or not slam, but I'm going to push the inside wall of this hoop into my thighs to close the distance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on one tree hooping, which means that both of my legs are going to stay together, and they're pretty much going to do the same thing, right? And so I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to start the hoop rolling, and then I'm just going to basically just push with my knees outward, and I'm wrapping the hoop around the top of my, I'm supposed to have background music here. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so I can instruct. But this is our first approach. And you don't have to worry about moving it right now. You know, a lot of hoopers will say like, well, I got it, but I don't know how to get it up. And that's definitely a legit concern, but that's not what we're worried about right now. And then what you can feel with this, hopefully, if you can keep it up, you don't have to worry about moving it, right? We don't have to worry about getting it up or down. Is that you can start to feel like what it feels like if I shade my left leg forward a little bit, or if I shade my right leg forward, right? Forward meaning that like if they're equal, that you're pushing one over that sort of center line. Oh, that's dope. Again, if you start to get tired or your knees are too sensitive for this, once you get leg hooping, you can do it for a really long time. And in fact, locally at our jams, most of the time, if somebody was leg hooping, they didn't like the song, right? And they were just getting their like flight time in. The leg hooping has definitely made me like songs. Anyway, this is the one tree movement that we're working on. Like you almost feel leg hooping in your abs. Yeah, well, all right, grab some water and you can take a break. This is going to be kind of strenuous tonight. If your which camera am I? Okay, if your legs are turning in, you know what I'm going to say, turn them out, and that kind of relates to Shelly's point about externally rotating. If I'm understanding you, Rita, sometimes I misread these comments, but it's kind of cool that you notice the knee knock, right? Like noticing the lock means that you noticed what's making the lock happen, right? And so you just want to turn that back out. And, if you can leg hoop well enough, you can start to turn both out at the same time. But the one that I really recommend turning out, if you can't turn them both out, would be the AM side, the side that the leg the hoop hits first, turning that out. Okay. All right. So I don't want to burn you out too much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to separate those. Let me get you better. We're going to try to separate those two legs, and we're going to use two tree, which is what we were just talking about. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. Let me try to put some more music on. Okay, so let's say we're going to go back. We're going to start back to what we were doing before. We're going to move the hoop. We're in one tree hooping, right? So I'm here. This kind of relates to Rita's comment, if I understood it correctly, which maybe I didn't. But one of the ways we get out of just being stuck here on the knees is to externally rotate. And what I do is I sort of turn my legs out, right? And then I start to bring a little up, right? So each time, like, instead of trying to bang the hoop up to whatever new level I want it to be, I just sort of turn my legs out and then come up a little bit. And by coming up, I mean, it's almost like I'm sort of knocking a soccer ball with my thighs. Like I'm pushing the hoop up that way while turning out. One thing that does show up a lot in leg hooping, if you haven't tried this already, is it's true for me, and it's true for a lot of people. My second current waist and shoulders is actually my first current down there. Or not first current, but like, let me put it this way. My second current legs is better than my first current legs. And that happens a lot. And sometimes you don't realize how good you could be in the other current because you never tried. So on legs, I would give it a whirl or on the other way if you haven't already. But you might be surprised because sometimes it's, you know, that reverse actually works better for the way your legs work. If you're not sure, if my hoop is traveling to the right, okay, what I think is helpful is for me to turn my left column towards the hoop, outward, away from my heart, like towards the hoop. If I'm going to the left, that would be my right side. If I'm going to the left, that would be my right side. It turns out. And that sort of turning of the leg out helps me keep a nice height on the hoop. All right. If you're like a regular class, you're probably getting pretty tired. I can't see you guys. But for our next exercise, what I thought we would work on is, and you can take a water break or whatever, is actually cheeing the hoop up. In hoop path, I mean, it's not really a hoop path term, it's just a slang term. To chi the hoop up means you move it up or into an angle or whatever without touching it. And so to chi the hoop up would be to raise and lower the hoop on the legs. And it may not look as slick as it does like when it's on your stomach or something, you know, bigger and smoother, but you can do it. And one way to do it is to think about 3 different locations on your legs. And so, you know, and these aren't precisely laid out, but kind of a high thigh, a mid thigh, and then just above the knee, like a low thigh, right? So like, I never hoop across my kneecap. For me personally, that feels like shit and I don't do it. But I like hooping down there, and that's sort of what we were doing before. But then you can come up maybe like 3 or 4 or whatever, however tall you are, 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 inches, whatever, come up to the middle and then come up to the high. And the reason I bring this up is that you can start at any of those places, try to keep it there. And by trying to keep it on the mid thigh, you develop a skill. You sort of like polish your leg hooping. So we'll try this. This will probably be our last leg exercise. So when the beats are slower for me, that's more like a low thing. Like I can kind of like keep my arms moving or whatever.
The kind of girl that you could be down for. Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me.
Tonight, like I'm really noticing that if I tighten my abs, I can almost put a pulse on the hoop.
And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real.
Now, the mid-thigh for me is about right here. And I'm on the mid-thigh now. And it's much easier to get up and under the hoop when it's on the mid-thigh. Not the best, but that's okay. I love leg hipping now. This is high thigh for me. This is the high thigh. If you're getting tired, just shoulder hoop or do whatever you want to hoop. The reason I'm staying here, though, for me, is that this is kind of a polishing. But the longer you spend doing legs, the smoother, less awkward it looks. And that's the hard part about legs. Challenge. It's best to just try to move your feet as much as you can. Hot pulls it. Okay, I love that track, but it's almost over anyway. Let's talk Kickstart, because Jennifer's awesome. And if I understood your comment, you're not smooth with the Kickstart yet. If you're not, if you are, and I misunderstood your comment, I'm going to teach the Kickstart anyway. All right. Okay, Kickstart. Let me show you this in the good old bird's eye. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is pick a direction that you want your hoop to be traveling when you're going to kickstart it. Okay, so you're kicking it into whatever direction. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick so that the hoop is going to my left, which isn't really my first current in legs, or best current in legs, but it's just how I learned it. And of course, I'll show you the other way for people that. So I've got I'm inside the hoop, and I've got my right foot underneath the hoop here because I'm going to the left. So you just reverse this. I'll show you the other way if you have trouble reversing. And then my other foot is going to come in front of the hoop here. Okay, so I've got one foot the hoop is laying across, it's on top of, and then one foot where the hoop's in front. So the hoop in front is going to be the foot that I push the hoop off of to get current. So I'm going to bring my back foot forward, and it's natural, forward, wanting to go direction, and it's going to spin around the standing foot. And then as it spins around, the standing foot is going to switch its weight, get inside the hoop, and then pick the hoop up. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm going to spin it around and then pick it up. Okay, so I'm here. And I'm going to show you a bunch of angles. Don't worry about this. So I'm going to the left. That's the angle I want to go. I'm going to the left, right? So my right foot's inside. The hoop's on top of it. My left foot is forward. Am I doing this backwards? Yeah, I think I reversed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, I got it. Okay. So now I'm going to push my right foot forward. It's going to run off the back of my left ankle. Boom. All right, let me show you from different angles here. Okay, let me put some music on like I've been doing.
I'm a walking fashion statement. I'm a walking fashion statement. I'm a walking fashion statement.
If I wanted to send it clockwise, if I wanted the current to be clockwise, my left foot would be inside, my right foot would be outside, and they're more or less in line with each other shoulder-wise, but it could be anywhere. And I'm going to push with the foot that's inside the hoop. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to kick forward, and that's going to spin the hoop out, and then I'm going to lift it.
Fashion statement. Beverly Hills with the bills I'm blazing. Flagrant. I'm an outside like LASIK. Fresh, but the hoes get undressed but naked. Gee, I'll take it. Throw it in the bag. No need to hit the price twice. Throw it on my tab. Real brass second on my ass. No homo. Jeans ain't retail yet. No promo. Must I remind you I'm
Across, and then when it comes in, this foot is coming in. This foot is coming in and then lifting it up just enough to catch on the other knee.
Say what? Yeah.
Let's see if I can show you some more angles.
That's right. Let them know.
Okay, here we go.
A Reese teased by the C-note with a pair of jeans you ain't never ever seen, no. It's YP, ho, and I be so clean. VIP with my Gorilla Pinos. What it be, though? What's in the bag, girl? I'm in the Gucci store. Popping tags, girl. Louis gave Kanye his own shoe. Well, tell Louis that I'ma need my own, too. When I step in the outlets, you see the outfits that I come out with. Your fit ain't about shit.
And then this is me if I want to go. So I'm going to spin the hoop so it's going to the right, clockwise. And my right foot comes forward. Left foot's inside. Left foot comes forward. Kicks the hoop. The right foot's going to pick it up. Oops. Well. Alright, that wasn't good. Let me try this again.
You know what it is. We right here, you see us. But where you at though? Huh? Yo, billionaire mafia draped on my body. Expect to taste lace from head to toe at the party. I'm winning how I'm killing them. Just look at me. I'm winning how I'm killing them. Bitch, look at me. I'm in something nasty, disgusting outfits. You wish you had this, how I have this. But I'm not average, so you can't say shit. Cause this ain't basic, you got to face it. Just raid my closet, I got collections. Ain't color scheme, all kinds of directions. It might be a blessing, but I think not. And since a toddler, I was off that hot shit. That's why they cop it. After I rock it, my sponsor's profit. So it's all logic. Wet like a faucet, I know I'm cold. You smell my style like some Gucci cologne. I'm on. I'm a walking fashion state. Huh?
I'm a walking fashion statement.
Say what?
I'm a walking fashion statement.
Yeah.
I'm a walking fashion. I'm a walking fashion. I'm a walking fashion statement. 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 I'm a walking fashion statement.
That's good advice, Louisa.
I'm a walking fashion statement. I'm a walking fashion statement. I'm a walking fashion statement.
You're welcome, Jennifer.
Fashion statement.
Jackie, I'm glad you like it.
Fashion statement. I'm a walking fashion statement.
She is a walking fashion statement. All right, let's. Okay. All right, so I think now would be kind of the free hoop time, unless you have a specific question. One thing, going blindfolded helps. I bet it does. Actually, I think I did that. You know, we were talking about going skin and stuff earlier. They used to make this stuff, and I think they still do, called Plastidip. And like, I don't know if you have ever seen a pair of pliers that has like the rubber, part of the handle. It's like, it looks like a rubber sock on the handle. You can do that with Plastidip, especially if they wear off. You can either dip it or we would spray it. And so we would spray Plastidip on the inside of our hoops. And that's how I learned to leg hoop. And the cool thing is like once you learn something, you learn the rhythm of it. You don't have to, use performance enhancers like Plastidip. But anyway, if you don't have any questions, I think we'll just free hoop. Thank you guys for joining me. And again, I apologize for the mega late start. Oh, well, I guess, wait. Maybe I'm finishing too early. Okay, you know what? Actually, I want to play that song, but I think we should do one more exercise. I just realized it's not quite as early in class as I thought it was. Even if you have to bounce, that's fine. But I think what we should do right now is after a legs class and our legs are thriving, let's try some balance, because I used to do this on the road and some people would have some serious breakthroughs once their legs had like warmed up. So you can pick any balance that you want. The leg practice you did earlier. Rita, I might need a more specific. I'm sure I'm being dumb right now. Can you talk about the leg practice you did earlier? Yeah. Rita, I think after the day I've had, I'm being a dumb butt, but I do not know if I know exactly what you mean. So if you want to write another comment, I'd love to get to that. All right. Let's try this balance thing. And I'll come back to legs. So you can pick any balance that you want. With one hand or with two hands, whatever you want to. And I just want you to see if you think you're better. Okay. Oh, thanks. That's nice. Okay, so I've got time for a couple more free hoop songs. I don't think I'm going to be able to give you guys the full hour that I normally do. My brother just texted me and said he's got to help me get the truck back to the U-Haul place. So, but we've got time. Yeah, we'll just go with these songs as a free hoop. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. You're welcome, Claire, and thank you, Carla, and thank you everyone who's joined, whether you're here or just stopped through. Shelly, everybody, Jennifer, Louisa, Jackie, Jordan. I'm trying to remember all this. Rita. Jackie. Claire. I think I got everybody. If not, thank you for being here. Carla. I don't know if I said Carla. If you want to get some speed on the hoop as you're trying to walk it, see if you can start to focus on like actually pushing back as your hand is walking under it, push back, and you can feel that pushback by raising your fingers. So as I'm walking, you know, and it's easier said than done, but if you can think about this kind of turning motion with whatever is making contact with the hoop, it'll help put gas on the hoop. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm putting too much on it. When I used to be a little bit better at balance, I could kind of speed bag it, and you can sort of do that to get gas on it, and that's sort of like when you strike the hoop. But I used to be pretty good at it, and now I can hardly ever get it. Let's see, let me start from walking and see if I can get there. I'm just not there. That's a little bit. Yeah, that was kind of it. All right, it's kind of coming. All right, so this will be our last song. Yeah, if you want to slow it up, you just don't put too much incline on. So I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys. So this is me trying to walk the hoop fast. And I'm not going as fast as I can because I can just tell I'm not on tonight. And then this would be me going as slow as I could. Oh, I'm not too good at that right now. Okay, here we go. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not getting in front of it. There we go. So you push your hands further out, Louisa. Yeah. I just need to calm down, honestly.
I feel
Yeah. Finally.
Please say you're gonna miss me. There'll be an empty space where you used to be. Say you're gonna miss me. Say you're gonna miss me.
If you haven't tried walking the hoop forward, hand walking, that's fun too. I was walking it back towards me, but you were walking away. I'll show you guys what it looks like. That's going away. This is towards forward. Yeah, these are great tips, y'all. Oh man, I love our little community here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sweet. Okay, guys, I gotta get going because my brother's gonna be here any second now. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me tonight, and I hope you got something out of tonight's class. I really appreciate it. Tara's in New York with her daughter for for Mother's Day. She sends her love. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Jennifer. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to peace out.
Melody Day, what have I done? Oh. Now our hearts are locked up tight again. And when I pray, it's all begun. And when you smile, it melts away again. heart's all locked up tight again. And when I pray, it's all begun. And when you smile,